It was after the nth number of YouTube videos that I watched on the ongoing farmer protests at the Singhu Border. Out of curiosity, I searched about the films we have made keeping the farmers at the center of things. मतलब यूजुअली फार्मर्स की लाइफ से जुड़ी फिल्में सैड होती है और आइटम सॉन्ग डालना थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है, सो प्रोड्यूसर्स कुछ खास इंटरेस्ट दिखाते नहीं है. बट देयर आर सम नेम्स दैट कीप पॉपिंग अप आप जब भी सर्च करो. In every other video or article, you would find a mention of films like Do Biga Zameen, Pipli Live, etc. And while going through one such article, I came across this wonderful piece of art that forced me to stop what I was doing and watch. A 50-odd minute long documentary film on the plight of farmers in Vidarbha, Maharashtra, named Nero's Guests. Featuring the messiah of rural journalism in India, P. Sainath, who Amartya Sen thinks is one of the world's greatest experts on famine and hunger. The film has been directed by Deepa Bhatia, who later moved to film editing and has lately edited mainstream Bollywood films like Drive and Kedarnath. So at this point, those of you who have not already dropped off this video knowing it's a documentary film that I'm going to talk about, you may ask, what's so special in a documentary film about farmers? I'll rather play a small part and try to convince you why.
हम किसान हो गए, हमने कौन सा पाप किया? हम पर कोई ख्याल नहीं दे, कोई हमारा ध्यान नहीं देते, कोई हमारी हाथ नहीं सुनते. कुछ ना कुछ आपको करना होगा, नहीं तो ये आत्महत्या होने वाली है.
While watching the film, I was wondering what exactly has changed in all these years. Isn't this what they are still fighting for? The oppression of the marginalized has been a norm, and we have been blinded by the market forces so much that the ones who are taking their produce to the market have gone obsolete from our consensus. The farmer suicides have always been numbered and they have always been treated like that. I have also in my mind decided that इस वीडियो में एक भी नंबर नहीं डालूंगा. The documentary Nero's Guests tries to show you the numbers through the actual stories of people. They are not mere figures in the eyes of the director, but individual families and the pain they go through when someone from their family actually commits suicide. If these suicides would have gotten a fraction of coverage from the media that they had given to the death of Shashank Singh Rajput, Nero's Guests would have ceased to exist. Anyway, the film asks potent questions. Why 3 farmers from the same family would take their lives? Where are the policy failures? What have we learned in all these years? Who is taking the profits from the farmers? Who are looking into their problems? All of this is addressed in great detail, although the span of the documentary is pretty limited. As fierce the journalism of P. Sainath is, the documentary also tries to pierce through your hardened skin of comfort. Somewhere in the middle, the film actually puts you in an uncomfortable spot when some facts are being presented by P. Sainath in an address. It is orchestrated beautifully by sounds of a whip, as if the director is trying to put that message across forcefully in our consensus. From the heart-wrenching photographs of the family members left behind by the farmers who have committed suicide, to the lying poetry pages of now dead farmer, the film puts you in dark, deep trenches where you are left with no respite. You will be forced to think, am I even remotely aware of what is going on with these lives? One portion in the film that resonated with me the most remained the critique of the role of the media. If one thing has rotten beyond repair in our country, it is the situation of the so-called fourth pillar of our democracy, the media. We have all seen how the farmers protesting are boycotting a certain section of the media currently.
ਆਪਾਂ ਟੈਕਸ ਪੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਟੈਕਸ ਪੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਇਹ 3 ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਜੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਰਿਪਬਲਿਕ आज तक ਉਹ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਕਰ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਤੂੰ ਸਦਾ ਵਾਸਤੇ you are not immortal, you have to die once.
मीडिया को इक्वली रिस्पॉन्सिबल ठहराना भी गलत नहीं होगा. If we talk about the plight of Indian farmers, the rural and agricultural section of the newspapers are long gone. टीवी पर भी मंदिर, मस्जिद और सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक के आगे गाड़ी बढ़ती ही नहीं है. ऐसे में किसानों की प्रॉब्लम्स और लो टीआरपी का रिस्क लेना is too much for the channels. The agony of the director in P. Sainath is clearly visible throughout the film. Be it the comparison of the attention given to Fashion Week and charity shows by the media and the dismal portrayal of the on-ground situation of the farmers, or just the inequality prevalent in society that is getting fueled by more and more capital infused in the market, the film is laced with such inequalities. In a time like this, when every other creator asking questions is being either put under bars or are being labeled with UAPA, it is interesting how the present government would have reacted to a film like Nero's Guests if it were to release in today's day and time. Now you might ask, why name a film Nero's Guests? P. Sainath gives you some hints in the film towards the end. He says, as Rome was engulfed in civil unrest, Emperor Nero opened his gardens to throw the grandest party the ancient world had seen as a distraction for those who wielded both power and influence. There was music and fanfare, and to provide nightly illumination, Nero brought in Christian prisoners and mercilessly set them on fire. The fascinating fact remained that the scholars, intellectuals, and the educated elite enjoyed the party amidst piercing screams through the inferno. So who actually are Nero's guests in the present context? What exactly does it mean to be a Nero's guest? I won't tell you that, because for that, you need to watch the film. What I can tell you is a bit more of a history. When Rome was burning, the Nero was at his villa at Antium, some 35 miles from Rome. Though he immediately returned and began relief measures, people still didn't trust him. Some even believed he had ordered the fire to start, especially after he used land cleared by the fire to build his golden palace and its surrounding pleasure gardens. Now the Singhu Border is almost an hour's drive from the Indian Parliament, and our Nero seems to be totally busy in making his own golden palace and its surrounding pleasure gardens, while the great fire in the belly of Indian farmers is burning. Nero's Guests is a timely reminder. If you are enjoying the illumination while the farmers are burning, you too are Nero's guests.
We can all agree that we will not be Nero's guests. Thank you.